So Ali, could you tell us a bit more about what Are You Talking to Me is all about?
Yeah, How Are You Talking to Me was a session about how to help activists or whoever is running a campaign or is addressing an issue to identify what we call the audience in their universe. By audience we mean supporters, adversaries, allies. So you go through a process of identifying them, and then we also talked about, once you identify them, how to categorize them. We used a couple of tools. One was to identify whether
Software
they're...
tools or?
No, very low-key paper
I see.
and drawings, and to place them on a spectrum of whether they're active allies, passive allies, neutral, and then so on and so forth, all the way to active adversaries.
I see.
Because that will help you then figure out where you direct your tactics at.
So can such a categorization work in any campaign, or does it work in, say, special types of campaign which are not so conflict prone, or which are being worked out in a democratic structure, or what?
I think it's a tool of that thing is just an analysis of your terrain. So whether or not then it's useful for the tactics that are used is another thing, but it's mostly about gaining an understanding of what environment you're operating on.
So what would be the advantage of kind of thinking this out in a very detailed manner as against doing it intuitively?
I think it is very possible to do things intuitively, but as humanity gets more and more complex and societies get more and more advanced, I think to do it intuitively, you're bound to miss on on the efficiencies of things unless you're like very brilliant. So I think it ends up being that it's just like you can keep track of your accounting if you're very good, but you more and more financial systems are becoming complex, and you have to use tools. You have to use methodology to categorize and systematize. So intuition is very important, though. Like that's not about that. It's just that you have to augment it with tools as well.
And did people find it useful?
The system. There were all of the participants. We went around and they helped them not just understanding the tool, but immediately actually coming up with understandings about how those tools or how those audiences are different. And how they could maybe attack an issue from depending on which audience they're dealing with. So what happens in those cases is that you are more able to pinpoint that this is the best choice for me because of my resources, because of my relations. So they were very keen because they also it sort of deconstructed them for them. It wasn't as overwhelming that way.
I see. Thanks so much.